Oh, Zach Brown Band.
Welcome to McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk Thursday, April 16th. Yeah! I'm the first half of the name there, Pat McAfee, and to my left is the other side, AJ Hawk, wearing a Spaceman shirt. How is it going, AJ?
Oh, it's going well. Why did you start the show standing up? You trying to get some exercise?
Well, I did an extra set of push-ups and body weight squats this morning, so I'm having some cookies. I think that's how it works, right?
Was this part of your morning routine, as you say, in the bathroom before you're grumpy?
Yeah, to kind of get things moving, kind of flush out the system. I do some push-ups. I do some body weight squats. I'll do some when I dip, you dip, we dips. Ooh. You know what I mean? I just basically all the show muscles, try to get the body going. I did an extra set, though, this morning so I could enjoy some Famous Amos cookies here. No sponsor, but damn good cookies.
I think a lot of people do that. A lot of people just work out so they can eat like they want.
That's what Kurt Warner told me. Kurt Warner told me when he was on the show, he does an hour of cardio at least every single. Troy Aikman said that too. Troy Aikman said he does an hour cardio every single day so they can eat whatever he wants. And I'm like, I wish I could do an hour of cardio just ever, let alone once a day. That's fun.
I mean, even if you did, you still need some pretty good genetics to eat awful, and you think your cardio is going to cover it up. Doesn't your boy Steve Weatherford say it? Like, you can't outrun a bad diet?
Is that what he says?
I don't know. I think it sounds like something he would say. Somebody said it. I don't know where.
You can't outrun a bad diet. That is such a good little tagline right there.
Yeah, it's true.
I always hear them say, nothing tastes as good as being fit feels. And I'm like, you ever try to Famous Amos fucking cookie?
No, didn't somebody get in trouble? A female said nothing tastes as good as being skinny feels. I think like a model or someone said that, and people thought she was fat shaming.
That's why I gotta say being fit. You see, I probably caught the politically correct version of that statement as opposed to what they probably say amongst each other at the gyms about us fats.
Oh, are you putting yourself in that category?
Well, yeah. I mean, I gain 30, I lose 30, I put up 50. I mean, I think I am a constant yo-yo in the weight department. That is no doubt. Let's talk about that space shirt you got on right there. What's going on down there, Paul?
Oh, it's JFK. He's actually on the moon, I believe. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's pretty sweet.
That's interesting.
JFK.
Riding a unicorn, yeah.
On the moon.
JFK,
we shouldn't go any farther.
Is JFK Jr. there, or what's JFK Jr. doing? Huh?
Well, I think can't touch on that subject. I don't know. He died in a plane crash in 1999.
Did he?
Yeah. As reported, maybe.
Did he?
Tell us how you feel, Connor.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah,
I just got off the ice at a hockey game. Yeah, I'm still sweating over here.
Different show. He dressed up like a goaltender this morning, a hockey goaltender, had a mask and pads and everything in that booth back there, and then sweat for 2 hours, and we just got to deal with it for lunch. I mean, it was fantastic.
Smell like a dump.
And I didn't get to see the show yet that you had this morning, but I'm not surprised that was Connor's role.
Did you see him do up downs yesterday?
No.
He did 6 up downs in that phone booth back there.
Almost started a fire back here. I was moving, AJ.
It was unbelievable. It was very impressive. All right, let's get to some real stuff here. I'm sorry I didn't get to eat. We're late because there was a lot of running around that was going on back here. Bob Bowlesby, the Big 12 commissioner, Jack Swarbrick, the Notre Dame athletic director, and other commissioners said there's no college sports until campuses reopen. Isn't that fucking grand? I mean, that's very good of these people. Normally, these people are judged for being money hungry, pocket grubby, you name it, not looking out for the students. And here's the commissioners coming together to voice the sentiment from the Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith, saying, hey, if we can't have people in the stands and we can't have people on campuses, why can we expect the athletes to come play when they're student human athletes after all? Their feet were pressed to the fire in this situation to potentially turn their back on their entire stance that these are student athletes, and they've stood up for it. I'm pretty impressed by this. I did not expect this. Now, granted, this isn't Mark Emmert making this decision in the NCAA. It's the commissioners, and I think it's the right move. Do you agree?
Yeah, of course it's the right move. It's the right thing to say. It makes complete sense when you read it. But guess what? Like, there's nothing holding them to this statement. Let's say schools, campuses can't open up on time, but they find a way, and they're going to go about it, and they can present it the right way to these guys, and they can say, oh, well, there's going to be individualized testing for the players. We're going to have all these concerns that we wouldn't be able to do for the 50,000 undergrad students if they came back on campus yet. So they don't have to, like, this isn't a legal binding statement.
Oh, you're saying there's no notary?
It doesn't look like it. Like you said, the boss man could overrule them, couldn't he?
You need a notary. You need a notary. Very easy to get, but you need to have a notary whenever they're. You think they're going to go back on their word here? No.
No, I didn't say they're going to go back on the word. I'm saying there's nothing stopping them from going back on the word, or not even going back on it. Saying, well, new things have come to our attention, and we feel confident and safe sending our athletes back before our students.
That is definitely what's going to happen, because everything is so day to day. As long as you win today by saying we won't do it until then, but in a week or two, or maybe a month or two, which will feel like 2 years from now, they'll say, oh, in light of recent discoveries, we've decided with our scientists and other things like that they can come in, and doctors, that players can actually play. That's wild. I didn't even think about that. That's definitely going to happen.
Well, it wouldn't. I'm not even saying they're wrong or saying they're going back.
No,
on
agreed.
The word.
Agreed.
What if in 2 weeks they do get presented with other options of ways where they can, as safely as possible, send athletes back? So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that they actually seem to be looking out for the students.
It just seems like a bunch of BS. You're saying nobody knows what's going to happen next week. How could they guess what's going to happen months from now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so you might as well throw out some good stuff that's going to make you feel good, look good to everybody.
Oh, pander! You're saying might as well pander a little bit if your words carry no weight at this time, because we could be living in a very different world 1 month from now. Who cares? Might as well say the right thing in a political correct sense. You're 100% right. I didn't even think about that.
But think about it right now, in the moment today, April 16th.
Yep.
They're in their eyes. They're saying, hey, if things stay the exact same way they are right now, there's no way we're going to send our athletes back if our campuses aren't open to regular students.
True. That's a good. Hey, by the way, good move by them doing that. Good move.
Great move. The right move.
Gene Smith, Jimbo Fisher, everybody's come out and had the same message. Basically, it's like, if fans,
don't you think they've chatted amongst themselves, saying, "Hey, we need to have like a united front here. We can't be fractured."
You think they were on a Zoom together?
I mean, it could be a simple text. Hey, man, can't have anybody stepping out of line here.
Billy McCombs just texted me and said that we're shadow banned again.
God.
What do we do? Is it because?
Yeah,
That's what I was kind of thinking.
It's because your stupid shirt. Unbelievable.
It's your JFK Jr.
Whoa!
speak.
Whoa! AJ,
Who owns YouTube?
Huh?
Zuckerberg doesn't own YouTube, does he?
Google.
Got his stinky mitts and everything.
Oh, we're definitely. I mean, now we're probably just going to get dumped off the site entirely for that.
Not Google. Facebook.
Oh, okay. Okay, Facebook.
We're not on Facebook.
Exactly. They got their mitts all over YouTube, I bet.
Hey, guy. Did you graduate college?
Barely.
He did, though.
If you get D's, they still give you that sheet of paper at the end.
Well, D's get degrees, and somehow Connor and Zito might be the two underdog stories of brains that shouldn't have graduated college but did graduate college.
Trust that process, baby.
It's an honor to have you guys in the office. It's an honor to work with you guys on a day-to-day
Also
basis.
an honor.
Honor to be here.
Yeah, the honor's all ours.
No.
And also ours.
It's ours.
No, the honor's all ours.
This side of the table.
Please. The
Amen.
honor is back in this booth with me and Zito.
No, the honor is all of ours.
No, the honor is all of ours.
I understand what you're saying, but the honor is on me and Zito's shoulders.
No, the honor's ours.
Honors.
The honor is all of ours.
Please.
Bill O'Brien did his first live interview on Twitter today. They streamed it on Twitter. I mean, it was worse than when Joe Buck's name gets mentioned in there.
Oh, come on.
How did he do?
He did everything. He talked about how they did studies of teams that win in January, and they realized that it's more of a team thing as opposed to a big name wide receiver. And then I don't know. He was basically he called DeAndre Hopkins a great player. He kept saying he's an incredible player. Not once did he talk about in the parts that I heard. Now I didn't listen to the entire thing in its entirety, but I heard him. You get it. I heard him talk about DeAndre Hopkins a couple times in the statement, and all he kept saying is he's a great player. Didn't say anything about a personal relationship, which is probably smart, by the way, because as soon as he gets into that, everybody will start dissecting every single word. But he's just talking about how we took a step. We won Wild Card Weekend. We've got further than we ever been, but we got to take that next step into Deshaun Watson era, and we got to create a good team. And we studied teams that win in January and all this stuff, and that led to him getting rid of one of their best players. I don't know. I don't know if that's who study, like who did this study. And then there was a lot of commenters that were just burying Bill O'Brien in there. I mean, it was tough. It was some savage shit being said by the Houston Texans fans in there. And one person said the Patriots never won with a big time wide receiver. It was like Randy Moss. They had Randy Moss there for a while.
Won 18 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, there's something.
Didn't win a Super Bowl.
Didn't win a
No,
Super
he
Bowl.
didn't.
Hey, so how many games though, or how many? Let's say, what did the Texans have to do for Bill O'Brien to feel vindicated next year? Like, right back at you guys. What are you talking? I knew what I was doing all along.
Probably has to make it to the AFC Championship, right? Yep. You can't do exactly what you did this past year because everybody's expecting you to do that anyways, right?
Yeah.
Did
I mean,
JJ
and they have
Watt
to win the AFC Championship game, get to the Super Bowl.
Did JJ Watt cure his back in one? Was that this last year
Yeah. When he came back and played the playoff game.
when he wasn't? And he had a sack, didn't he? Obviously,
Yeah, I think he forced a fumble.
Yeah. I mean, that team, if J.J. Watt's healthy, by the way, a completely different team, maybe they move even further. But I think they have to win. And I don't know how getting rid of your best guy is the way to do it. I honestly, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know how that works.
It seems like DeAndre Hopkins, it seemed like his teammates loved him. He never really had any issues from what I saw on the field, off the field. But then it seems like he and Bill O'Brien, even though Hopkins has taken the high road, I feel like with O'Brien leaving out for a coach to be around a guy that's that great of a player and to not mention anything about his personal character, I think is just telling you exactly how he feels.
Yeah, he was saying something without saying something.
Yeah. Like even in anything, if a guy is released and they put a statement out or something, like the coach is going to say, we thank him for his incredible time. Not only was this guy a great guy in the field, but he off the field in our locker room was a positive influence. Like they usually, even if they don't believe it, they'll put something in there.
Yeah, let's go. That pivots right to my next point. Sean McVay said last night on Fox Football Now that the misconception about Brandon Cooks because he's been traded 3 times that he's a bad teammate or something like that. He said that is very wrong. I loved coaching Brandon Cooks. He was one of my favorite guys I've ever coached. He said for us there was just other situations that popped up that we had to trade him. And Jay Glazer didn't press him like, oh, you're talking about all the massive contracts you handed out and weren't able to deal with. Didn't press him on that, but that's what he meant. It was actually kind of a good conversation here. Jay Glazer and Sean McVay talked there a little bit because they also had to talk about the big news that directly affected the Los Angeles Rams, which was teased for 36 hours, that Brian Allen, NFL player, Los Angeles Rams center, is the second documented COVID-19 patient. It said that he was the first, but I believe the Raiders have a player that had COVID-19. It was some guy on the practice squad or something like that. But Brian Allen, I guess officially the first active NFL player to test positive for coronavirus, and that was the big news. And boy, there's another guy who just got buried on the internet. Bill O'Brien just got buried on the internet with the Houston Texans. Jay Glazer got buried on the internet last night. It's not a good time to be doing stuff on the internet, it feels like.
Well, it's not a good time to be teasing anything like that on the internet. Oh. And whenever there's a scoop, like usually multiple sources know about it, so they all want to make like you can't sit on it for you can't tease it for 36 hours because other people will most likely pick it up. But I would assume other guys probably knew this, maybe even like, wait, this can't be Jay's news, right? Like this can't be what he's breaking tomorrow. Didn't you think Gronk was coming to the Bucks? That's why I was like, oh, it's got to be, right?
Gronk to the Bucks, maybe.
Gronk's he works for Fox too. I'm like, this has so much carryover here.
Gronk to the Bucks, maybe Olsen to the Fox second booth that they have opening up, something along those lines. Maybe the NFL is doing a practice game with the stadium that's empty, just something notable. And I believe maybe it was our fault on our show because we laid out all those things as potential things that could happen. And turns out it was a guy just getting coronavirus. That, by the way, happy he's all right. He lost his sense of smell and his taste, but the internet didn't feel as if that was worthy of a 36-hour tease. And I think it's because, whenever like 45 NBA players get it, and then like all the big actors and actresses get it, and you've never heard of the guy Brian Allen, that's probably why it's not considered big news. But Jay Glazer reporting the facts that he knows, old buddy survived COVID-19. We should maybe respect it a little bit more, is what he's saying.
Yeah, I think we should respect what he 3 weeks ago, I believe, Brian Allen
Yep.
found out that he had it, and he's doing better now. What made me think though, first off, whatever Jay wanted to tease, maybe Fox asked him to tease it for whatever the show was that they did.
Fox
But-
Football Now.
Yeah.
It's a good
So-
show. Good show. It's a good show. It's a good show.
What kind of player? What level of player would he have had to announce this for you to feel like his 36-hour tease was justified?
This is what his show sounded like.
Yeah, I saw some clips. I'm like, can we get a USB mic or can we get something to plug in? They have Bluetooth lav mics. They have everything possible now.
I think if he goes and says, Jared Goff, quarterback of the Rams, has COVID-19, I think more people would have been like, holy shit, Jared Goff, the overpaid quarterback for the Rams. I'm joking. I think if it's Jared Goff, it's good. I think if it's Sean McVay, by the way, I think people would say that's big. Not good, obviously, but I think that's would be considered big news. But because it was an offensive lineman who thrive on anonymity, that is kind of tough to make it a big story, especially when the whole world has COVID-19 at this point. It was just a miscalculation by Jay. It was just a miscalculation. And there were some people on Twitter saying 10 years of great work building up that name, Jay Glazer, all ruined in one night with Brian Allen, number 55, getting COVID-19. Everybody.
Yeah, I don't. Does it ruin your? Does it? How long does it ruin Jay's credibility for the next time he tries to break some news?
At least 24, 48 hours.
Well, he can't. He just can't tease anything anymore. There's no way he can tease like his next scoop.
Oh, I think the next one he goes even
bigger.
bigger. I think he goes even bigger with the. And by the way, if it's actual, because Jay Glazer through his entire career here has broken some mighty news. I mean, he has done his. That's why he has the job at Fox. That's why he has Fox Football Now, Fox Sports 1, Wednesday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I watched it last night. I watched the.
Was last night the first episode?
No, I think it was the third because he said, as we do in weeks past, we break news. So I guess like the week before and the week before. Fox Football Now is a news breaking show. That's what it is. And I learned that last night. And I enjoyed his conversation with McVay. I didn't stick around for his conversation with the running back from Nebraska, Jonathan Taylor. No,
Yep.
Wisconsin. Yeah, there it is. Red team. In my head, I just saw a bunch of white people wearing red. Oh my God.
So it was either Nebraska or Wisconsin for you?
And I guess wrong. I guess completely wrong. But he was on. I didn't hear his interview. But I assume the next week, Jay Glazer should build something up, and I think it should be real, like actual news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that actual news would be, though.
Korean baseball may be coming back. You know what I mean? Korean baseball is about to be streamed on ESPN from what I've been told this morning while taking my grump reading through tweets. I guess ESPN is thinking about streaming Korean baseball because it's coming back. And the immediate response underneath was like, I'd watch two crackheads roll dice if it was being streamed live or something like that. So people are like, we're in. And I think it's the same thing. I think for me personally, whenever you see the first preseason game, you're so jacked up because football's back. And then about a quarter and a half in, you're like, this isn't really football. Like, what are we doing? This isn't. I think that is potentially going to happen with Korean baseball. I think it'll come back. Everybody will love it. They're like, okay, we got some competition, we got some talent, we got some sport, and then it'll take like 3-4 innings before somebody's like, fucking Aaron Judge would go 700 feet with that guy or something like that.
It's hard to care about something that you haven't cared about before. Like I get where, but like. I don't want to watch that. I mean, there's just you don't have any connection to any of the players or anything. Like
you're not invested. There's nothing to get you invested.
Right.
You don't know. There's no personal stories you know of. The only way to keep you invested is to gamble on it, which what people will do.
Which, by the way, I am all about hammering home the Sharks over there in Korea. The what are their names?
Oh, the winners.
The last year's champion were the Babylon.
Some of the Bears.
Seidoon Bears or something.
The Bears. You hammer the Bears.
Marathon.
See, that's Zito's in the comment section, not paying attention to the show.
I'll try to get the name.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Zito might be the quickest Google search.
Doosan Bears.
Doosan Bears. There it is.
The Doosan?
Yeah.
Doosan Bears, you hammer them. They're coming off a championship. They're hungry. They were locked down for a couple months, working on their swings, working on their technique, like that guy late night when you were growing up.
Tom Amansky.
Yep.
Tom
Amansky. You didn't want the Fred McGriff. He had probably the greatest commercial for his VHS.
I never played the baseball, but if it was on like 2-3 a.m., that was that one where the guy was like in the outfield, he caught the ball, and they're like, now do the entire
Tom Amansky. It's got to be, right?
It is.
Back to back.
Throwing it into the bucket at home plate.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like we should be a little bit quicker if we're fucking trying to throw somebody out, pal. The technique, you got to. By the way, it helped me in my game.
Yeah.
The only coaching I really had was Tom and Mansky, 2-3 a.m. as a child. And I played professional baseball. 0 errors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
0 errors.
I will say the team names for this, like the Kia Tigers, the Samsung Lions, the LG Twins, the Hyundai Unicorns.
Do they have a
Is that going to come
5K
to
team?
America? Is that going to happen to the NBA? Is it going to be the
Starting to.
the GM, the General Motors Cavaliers?
That'd be sweet.
Oh yeah,
That would be sweet.
Remember when they started selling the practice jerseys?
Yeah, and the
the game
NBA has them on their game jerseys now.
Yeah, but in the NFL, they started selling practice jerseys.
Oh
which,
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're still there.
which was hilarious.
What was the Colts?
State Farm? No. Farm Bureau?
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Indiana Farm Bureau? Yeah. They got the building and the jerseys for a lump sum.
Smart.
Have I ever told you a story about when I thought about buying the naming rights for the Indianapolis Colts practice facility?
No, you have not.
Yeah. I had
Please.
I had a little bit of a grudge that I was holding against somebody that worked in the building. And the pretty high up, and the rights were up. And I
Biggest
knew,
office there, probably. Yeah,
what's that?
biggest office in the building, most likely.
Second, but the naming rights were up, and I was going to do an entire like email negotiation with like the name like John Smith or something like that. Like I was going to negotiate the entire deal for the naming rights and then get it done and then tell them the name. And I was going to have it be called the Pat McAfee Practice Facility, and I had the price and everything. I was ready.
Wait, was this when you were still on the team?
Yeah. It was a few $100,000 a year, right? And I was willing. I was 100% willing to do it. I mean, it was not even a question. And
It was a spite practice facility.
oh yeah.
That's a large grudge. That's the ultimate chip on your shoulder.
Oh, dude, imagine him having to walk into work every day though. Just open that door with the big old sign right above it, and then ESPN reporting live from the Pat McAfee practice facility, and I'm just jogging out. It would have been awesome.
It would have been a good business move. Now think about it even more.
I know, believe me. I'm bummed I couldn't get it done.
Imagine when Andrew Luck was retiring, how many different news people would have been right out front of the Pat McAfee practice facility.
I couldn't wait to see the patch that I would have had.
And
to
you
sign.
come strolling by though in the background of all those interviews too. Oh, you were gonna get the patch too on the jersey?
Oh yeah, because I think it was a bundled deal. That's why.
Oh no.
Yeah, it would have been awesome. Just my face on there. Yeah, these are things that I, have contemplated, and everybody says I'm poor with money, but I think that would have been a great investment. Honestly.
I bet those naming rights are coming up again. I bet that deal is running out.
Yeah, and it's probably much higher now if I had to guess.
Especially if they find out it's you. It will be much, much higher.
John Smith, email.
This damn John Smith guy's trying to get the naming rights again.
He's back again. He's back. He won't tell us what he wants to fucking name it again. I'm pumped up about the draft.
Yeah, man. I try to think about what it's going to be like, and then I turn on, I see. I'm big on the fumbling of technology. It's going to be that's what I'm most excited about. The one thing that's going to happen, there's no way there's going to be as many trades this year as there has been in years past.
I think there is going to be. I think there's going to be more trades.
How?
Well, from what I've been told by not GMs, but people who may be in the know, there'll be one Zoom or Microsoft Team, what is it called? Teams. Surface? Microsoft Teams or Zoom.
Let's be real. They're all going to have iPads, by the way.
Okay, so it's either the Zoom or the Microsoft Teams. There's going to be one distinctively from the GM for like the scouting department, right? His entire scouts. Then there's going to be one, either a Zoom or a Microsoft thing, immediate to the other 31 GMs, I believe. Then there is a direct line. I guess it's like a open phone line, or maybe it's a conference call. If these two things fail, this thing is the third. So they have like backups on backups, I guess. So there's definitely going to be something. Somebody's going to mute the wrong one somewhere, and somebody's going to do something. It's only a matter of time to happen, but I think they're trying their absolute best to figure it out. And I think there's a test run either Monday or Tuesday.
I know I've spoken to some people around the league too. Like there's teams have done test runs already, and I know the couple guys I talked to said that it's actually gone smoother than they thought. I think their expectations going in were like, oh, this is going to be a disaster. But think about it, though. Trades always took place over the phone, but you had 30